what I found the most amazing about God's blessings upon me this year was that I feel like before this, I didn't know that my prayers had so much power.
In your blood, too much to make sense.
I didn't know that if I asked God, like, God, I want to get closer to you, that could flip my life all the way over into a crazy encounter with him and a crazy experience. My whole 2017 was all about that. My whole 2017 was about me at one point this year saying, probably around this time in the new year, asking God, like, God, I want to get closer to you. And him taking me through a whirlwind. I'll tell you, being a leader for the past 2 years, it was kind of hard for me to like understand what was happening in the bigger picture, because I was so focused on what I was doing, what I was contributing. How can I contribute? How can I help people grow? How can I grow? So last year, the lesson was all about, don't drain yourself so much that you don't fill yourself at least once. Like, just remember to fill yourself up before you let out and evangelize and lead, because you're a worthless leader. I felt like, to me, this was my lesson. It was like, I'm a worthless leader if I'm just giving people the droplets that are left inside of me. I need to fill myself up. And I learned that lesson. Bam, whatever. This year was all about actually leading people, actually leading myself, leading people, actually trusting God as I lead people. So it was my season of Moses, as one of my very amazing mentors and friends expressed to me. It's like, you are Moses right now, and the people that you're leading are following you to the promised land, and none of you guys have seen it, but you're guiding them because you're holding on tight to God. And I said, wow, I really want to live up to that name. I really want to live up to being Moses. And bam, ta-da, kaboom, that was that prayer, and everything flipped upside down for me. I'm telling you, there were days that I felt like, how can this burden be given to someone? Like, just God, just a rush of things. Thank God there was good things happening for my family, but there were also bad things happening in my family. My father's health was shaky in the beginning of last year and towards the end. And so the first time I was freaking out, and my prayer was like, God, heal him. I'm not ready for him not to be here anymore. Dramatic. Probably nothing was happening. The ER sent him home that same night, so it was cool. Personal moment, obviously. And then towards the end, when things started shaking up again, it was like I had grown to understand that this has so much purpose. And so I feel like the shift between then and now, it represents the shift between my leadership then and my leadership now, my being then and my being now. It's just like, where in the beginning I was praying for the things that I felt were convenient, the things that I felt were gonna work out fine, what I felt was gonna be the perfect outcome. Towards the end, God allowed me to realize that praying to the Holy Spirit, praying in the Spirit, was a thing that I needed to do that I was not doing before. And so when I started leaning on the Spirit, is what I like to call it, leaning on the Spirit, I saw changes in every aspect of my life. And I realized that every lesson that I was learning through the prayers, through the Spirit, and all of the other things leading up to that, it was for the people that God was putting around me, putting them around my life, which then connected to my leadership, because part of my leadership is helping people understand what God is trying to tell them. Part of my leadership is pushing people out of their comfort zones, and I wasn't doing that before, because I was worrying, like, could your comfort zone be the best thing for you? Maybe. Who knows what's out here? Because I wasn't trusting in God. I was trusting in what my eyes could see. And so when you pray in the Spirit and you hold on to the Spirit, hold and lean on to the Holy Spirit, it's a whole other life. It's a whole other life. It's about that word that we keep hearing out there, which is beyond natural, or supernatural. Things that we keep hearing, but we don't see on the daily basis, because maybe such and such sister, such and such brother were able to experience it, but I have yet to find that favor enough to experience it. If only we knew that the power and the favor is in our hands, if we lean in and hold tight to God and what He's trying to tell us, what He's trying to do. And I feel like that's what 2017 was all about for me. It was all about how hard or how tight can you hold on to me, and how far will we go before we accept God in His infinite callings that He has for us.
The scandal